Hello, welcome to the House of the Spirit. Welcome home. Hello, Scorpio. This is your manifestation reading. So let's see what is the advice from Spirit for you to make your dreams come true. How does Scorpio make their dreams come true? We're going to start with Jehovah. This is a card of a challenge, and it's a challenge about our fears. So when Jehovah appears, we can have nightmares, we can have even worries, and it's like ghosts or monsters. I feel like it's that feeling of being in bed and having that feeling that you have a monster under the bed, like when you were a child. So it's funny that I tried to do this reading many times today, and I kept being interrupted, so it ended up being a late recording for me. But one thing I really felt was that I had to sleep before I did the reading. So that brings me to this second part of the reading, which is the Kipper cards. And you have a journey, and there's a bat there. So for me, this also suggests nighttime. And we have a change. I also see a change of scenery, a change of perspective, seeing things from above, seeing things that are far away. If you're not in Africa or a country where there are giraffes, seeing things that are exotic for you, that are different than your usual environment. And also you have meetings. So I also feel like this is meeting something. It's not specifically a person, it might be a certain energy or a certain group. And I feel like it's meetings, so it's many meetings, so it's not only one person or one situation. I think it's many, and I feel like this first part is talking to us about actually meetings that are occurring in a liminal space, so like the dream space and your fantasies. And so for me, this is something that is happening on a different plane, on the other side of the veil, if this is a better way to put it for you. And because I think that the rules of this world don't apply actually to what this reading means to tell you, because the message here for me has a lot to do with the dreamscape. So what is on your mind? What do you recall when you sleep? What is the first thing that's on your mind when you wake up, and maybe the last thing on your mind when you go to sleep? Is it a worry? Is it something that is related to a specific person? Is it something that is about you? And I feel like there's a lot of questions that you have to ask in order for you to manifest what you want. And maybe the answers are coming in that space, in that moment, that liminal moment. And with the slowing down and the heart centered and the dolphins, for me, this is really like a language. It's a different language. It's a message that is coming in a different language. It's not exactly your the language you learned in school. I think it's something that is you will understand perfectly, intuitively. There's this immediate recognition. It can even be a message that comes in the shape of someone or a situation or an environment, or just an emotion or a feeling or a color or a shape, or I don't know, something that's happening. Because I think that there's this process of self-discovery that is going on here that is very, very important in this reading, because we have conclusion and the rebel. This is the Emperor and judgment. Sorry, I think this is the World card, but anyway, it's about the missing piece, right? It's the missing piece of the puzzle. And the rebel card, although it's the Emperor card, it's a card of immense self-ownership and self-awareness, and being in your power in a way that makes you stand apart from the rest of, the rest of the world. Or it's like you are so well adjusted with yourself that you don't really care what other people think, and you're free to be yourself. This is the rebel. And that's the authority, right? That's the self-empowerment that comes from knowing yourself and being at ease and at home in your own existence. So I feel like there's this advancement in your life that is coming from this missing piece. So this is the main advice of this reading, is to be very aware of that transition into sleep. And maybe if that transition brings you some sort of memory or feeling, that might suggest the missing piece in towards your liberation. And also, another advice that comes right across this reading, there's rainbows and colors in both these cards that are really appealing to me right now. And you see both the turtle and the figure, that I don't know if it's a man or a woman, doesn't matter. They're looking towards that more colorful world. And what is interesting is this is slowing down and this is delaying. So I don't feel like this is something that you can rush. I feel like this is something that comes from contemplation, and they're looking at opposite sides. They're looking both ways. So I feel like there's this need for some equanimity, some detachment from a certain situation, for you to be more available to see things, have a fresher perspective. Like, this is innocence. This is what it means. It's the Sun card. And this is where you see both yourself shining through, but also everything is shinier. Everything is like born anew. Is something that you are suddenly discovering again, like a child. And that sense of wonder, that sense of bewilderment and awe. I think the advice here to achieve that sense of wonder that might put you in a place where you can relax a little bit more, and when you go to sleep you can access this missing piece. It also comes from some sort of emotional release so that you can relax into your heart space. And that comes from seeing the rainbow all across the landscape. And it's not like what I feel is you are running in a direction and you say, this is where the rainbow is. And then you see the other side, it might be better. And then you're running and, okay, no, this is where the rainbow is. And it's not like you're moving too much, but I feel like it's like you are yourself in your inner self, kind of torn or split. It might have happened because some sort of trauma or like dissociative process, that you feel like there's two parts that don't really communicate with each other, and that spark in the middle has to happen, and it's in your heart space. So it can manifest through forgiveness and gratitude, and it's the love, but it's not it's the pure love. It's a completely surrendered to what is. It doesn't chase either way, and it doesn't feel like it has to choose. It's completely universal and fused. So in that space, that heart space, once you start opening yourself more to a certain glimmer in your experience, in your sensory experience. That's interesting. Maybe you can try, when you go to sleep, to create an environment that is very, very pleasing for you. Like just before you go to sleep, of course, like the usual advice would be like no screen time, less stress, and try to really wind down and find that very slow paced and slow pulse, right, of life before you settle down to sleep, because that helps you achieve that relaxation, that child's relaxation. Like the children, usually they're like very hyper, very active, and then suddenly they say, okay, I'm sleepy, and like 1 second later they can just fall on the couch or even on the floor or something if they're really sleepy. So that if they are healthy and they feel safe, okay? So this is very important. So I think that, yeah, safety. So feeling safe. So if you kind of move around your environment and feel like you're safe, and the smells are just right, and the bed where you're going to lay is just perfect, or whatever, if it's in nature, I don't, you are the owner of your own experience. So wherever you feel safe, even if it's just like napping in, I don't know, your car, or in the park, with your towel or nothing, just on the grass. So wherever you really feel like you can create that space for rest and for contemplation, I think it's a great way to challenge Jihobaya, because this is a card of just worries and fears, but they can be real or imaginary, unrealistic or not. And I feel like the only way to really, when we are afraid and we don't know what's real and what's just anxiety, the only way to separate the wheat from the chaff is to return to that very relaxed and pure state. Because before you do that, it's really hard, right, to know what is illusion and what is real, and what is something that is that you have to be cautious about. And because I feel like the Scorpio energy is usually, how do I say, it's very easy usually for the Scorpios that I know, and I also have some Scorpio placements. It's very easy for us to understand how things can go wrong, and it's very easy for us to be also viewed by others as more negative, or more like we don't expect the best of people, and sometimes it's a little bit difficult to explain, because that's not negativity. It's just that I feel like Scorpio people have this ease of transmuting negative energy, and other people can't really do that so well. They tend to kind of lose their ground. And I think that Scorpio people, they're just really fixed energy. They're really so centered and grounded in their own experience. It's so deep, that connection is so deep, that they have that kind of superpower to transmute negativity and to observe things, and to it's like I know like Scorpio people who are they can be like nurses or firefighters, or like, you know, be in very stressful situations, or even be in contact with some of the worst that humanity has to offer, but still maintain that sanity, you know, that grounded energy. And it's like a superpower. So I feel like this is something that, although it's easy for you, maybe it's time that you saw past this and went through a stage of more of like just childlike wonder. And it's innocence is the word, and innocence is maybe the best word to translate this. And that's the way we dispel the geobaya, this crossing, this like this challenging energy, right? And this is by journeying and changing dimensions and meeting energies and situations in a plane that is not this one, it's the other one, or the, you know, choose one, because this is, it's very difficult to kind of categorize for me, but you can go to so many dimensions, and you have to know intuitively where you need to go, and you are going to be guided. There's the dolphin spirits here that they're guiding you, and they're guiding you through your heart space. So that is why it's so important for you to be in a different state of mind, in a different state of being when you go to the other side, so that you can meet the right people and the right places on the other side of the veil that are going to give you that missing piece. And that missing piece is also about yourself. It's something that you'll discover about yourself. And it's like a superpower. It's like something that will break the chains and free you and set you free, set you on your way. It's also interesting that this the Rebel card has the fire, like the Prometheus fire, and an eagle for me is also like a phoenix, and the phoenix is also the sign of Scorpio. It's also a symbol, of Scorpio. So I feel like after you go through this challenge, you are going to be reborn, and that's a very good thing for Scorpio, right? It's letting go and starting something with full power, with your full being again. So this is your path to manifestation. Thank you so much. This was a fantastic reading. Also, always very inspiring, Scorpio, that energy, that Scorpio energy. And yeah, I would like to invite you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And also visit my website and Instagram and TikTok account if you're interested. And yeah, like and share the video if it resonated with you. I would also love to know what you think about what I'm doing in the comment section below. And I hope to see you again very soon. Bye.